Hello and welcome to the Inquisitors' Den.
We are the Inquisitors. This is my man, Joe Wilson.
Right over here we have Inquisitor number 2, Michael Piper, a man with a mission.
It's not about me today, it's about a very special man called Dan Brown, who's written a book, and I think it's called the Vinci Code.
Why?
Dan Brown wants to set the record straight about any Christ has been misrepresented. Where does it take place?
Here, 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 and here.
Most of all, I think it takes place here.
You're right.
It took 2,000 years for him to come along, 2,000 years for him to finally set the record straight, and I think it'd be quite nice to, have a look at what he's actually saying.
For centuries, a secret brotherhood called the Priory of Sion has been protecting an important yet well-concealed, history-shaking truth. The Brotherhood's new leader and art curator, Jacques Saunier, is murdered. Before he dies, he manages to leave clues for 2 code-breaking experts, his granddaughter, Sophie Neveu, and Harvard professor, Robert Langdon. They must decode clues found in Leonardo da Vinci's paintings, whilst dodging the French police and 2 eerie characters working for a formidable organisation called Opus Dei. The clues lead them to some shocking truths. Jesus and Mary Magdalene married and had a child called Sarah, who is the Holy Grail. Eluding their foes, they are guided to a chapel in Scotland where let's not spoil the ending.
The main themes. Were Jesus and Mary married? Has Christianity demonized the divine feminine? Has Leonardo da Vinci encoded all his paintings with all these conspiracies? The Holy Grail, the Priory of Sion, the Knights Templar. As scholar Scooby-Doo once said, I don't know. Now in chapter 58 of the Da Vinci Code, we've got the claim that Jesus and Mary were married. Mary Magdalene.
Oh, but the Bible calls her a prostitute?
That's
Is that
right.
not right?
Oh yeah,
She's a prostitute.
that's the one.
Because it's a war on women, isn't it?
It's the war on women.
Yeah.
So they're married, but where's the sources for this? Actually, Dan Brown claims that or his character at least claims that there's countless references to this, that ad nauseum that the scholars have been looking at this, but really, there's only one reference in the Gospel of Philip, which is kind of discredited Gnostic Gospel, and it says that Jesus kissed her.
Kissed her?
Perhaps on
is that marriage?
On the
lips?
And actually, that part of the document is actually gone. So with so many alleged references to their marriage, where are all these references? If it said they were married all over the place, then where are these documents?
One of Dan Brown's characters exclaims that this Last Supper painting practically screams that Jesus and Mary Magdalene were a pair. This, of course, assumes that the figure at Jesus' right hand isn't a disciple John, but in fact, Mary.
So here we are, the Last Supper, but there's someone missing in this picture.
Is this the Last Supper this year? Yeah. I had a Subway about half hour ago.
Jesus has just said that someone's going to betray him.
Someone's going to betray him.
Yeah, look, you got Judas there. Look, he's got the silver.
Is there a knife?
Yeah, a disembodied hand, that kind of thing. Yeah, it's a bit weird and strange, isn't it? But I think the question we're asking is that, are those breasts? Are they larger? Are those women's breasts, or just maybe the breasts of the young man?
The 2 central figures lean away from each other, creating a V shape between them. This symbolises a chalice, a womb, the Holy Grail. But wait, are these characters reading too much into this picture?
Joel, but there are clues in Leonardo da Vinci's paintings. There's the V shape, and apparently there's a picture called the Madonna on the Rocks, and Madonna is an anagram of con of man.
Actually, the anagram,
I haven't seen it.
The original painting that we're looking at right here is the Virgin of the Rocks. not the Madonna.
No,
He changed.
No. It says that it's called the Madonna of the Rocks.
He actually changed it in order to make that anagram, so dark the con of man. So.
He can't just make things up, can he?
Oh well, if you're writing fiction, I guess you can.
But he's not. He's writing facts. It says.
Shouldn't Da Vinci Code readers accept that it's just fiction? Well, when you read a story based in the real world, written by an expert about something important, like the Titanic or the wiping out of Native Americans, don't you expect it to be based on facts? We know that the people in the stories are fictional, but we assume that the story is set in a historically accurate environment. Dan Brown claims that the pyramid at the Louvre is made up of 666 panes, the number of the beast. Yet, architectural sources say that it has 603 diamonds and 70 triangles. That's 673 panes in all.
So, we ask, has Christianity demonised the divine feminine?
Dan Brown has actually managed to synthesize 5 or 10 different theories about the divine feminine. But the primary thing is it's saying is that the New Testament account is false. That somehow what the Christians have done over the years is remove Mary Magdalene from the New Testament, make her, sideline her. She's not that important after all. In Ephesians 5, verse 25 to 27, it talks about this idea of there is a bride of Christ, and it's actually been hardwired right into the New Testament that Jesus is married, in a way, to the church.
But it doesn't say anything about that in the book. In fact, it's almost like it's been written by a 6-year-old.
So, Mike, we've peppered this book with questions. We've asked all the big ones.
I sort of feel like I've got more questions now than nothing's answered.
Well,
really.
It seems what he's done is just taken the factoids and the fiction together and blended together nicely.
Sort of thrown it all together, hasn't he?
How much do we have to place our faith in Dan Brown because he sold loads of copies of this and because it's a major motion picture?
And what worries me is people are going to read this, they're going to think it's true, they're not going to bother reading the New Testament and the Gospels. I think we've got to go out, we've got to research it, we've got to read the Gospels and not just, trust what someone's saying.
We've got all these different variations of what truth is, so I guess it's the question is, whose truth do you really believe in? So thank you, we've been the Inquisitors. Why don't we go to Venice?
Yeah,
it's lovely this time of year.